Well, it's much slower paced. Of course, there's no running water yet. They'll have running water shortly. No indoor plumbing, no electricity except for 3 to 4 hours a day, and that's varied depending on the time of day. No heat, no electricity. So when it rained and it got cold, it was cold where you're sleeping. And for us, it was only a week, but that's their life up there. It's how they live.
One word comes to mind is simple. Here we worry about, whether our comforter and sheet sets match, and and how comfortable our bedding is, and our couches, and just things that when we went there, it just kind of stripped us of all the conveniences that we have here. And that made a huge difference to me, because I discovered that I don't really need any of that. I don't need anything that I thought that I needed. And there we just pushed 2 benches together and put a mattress down, and that was perfect. I mean, we didn't need anything else.
As far as conditions, it was really muddy. It was cold a lot. The first couple of days it took a lot to get used to. Definitely because we weren't used to that. We were kind of expecting, we're in the Dominican, it's going to be hot. But it definitely was not that.
I haven't been in that sort of poverty before. Like, the places that I've been outside the country have been nicer tourist areas, but going up into the mountains of the Dominican Republic, it was really eye-opening, I guess, to see all the people, what they had to live with every day. So it wasn't as nice as I'd been planning on, I guess.
Well, I would say that the sanitary conditions were probably the thing that stands out in my mind, that people were not ready for it, including myself. It's one thing to say that you're not going to have any running water, but it's another thing to experience and live it for almost a week in very close quarters with a lot of other people. So yes, they have mountains and we have mountains, but I'd say that, the fact that there are really no modern conveniences. If something breaks down, you live with it, you look for whatever's around, and that really impressed me too, is whatever's around to fix something, whether it's climbing up a ladder made out of, some tree bark, or playing with a bat that's from a limb of a tree, or trying to take a piece of string to tie up somebody's pants. I mean, they work with what they've got. And when we think here, you can't in the Dominican run down to Lowe's to get something if you want to work on the cistern. You're going to make it work. So I think, to me, just the conveniences and the sanitary conditions were by far the biggest difference between the two places.
The Sunday service, the church was packed. Many people walked as much as 2 hours to come to church, and I don't know if anybody in the United States would even drive 2 hours to get to church. But they wanted to be there. Families were there.
I mean, I don't have any concept of how that happens, of how the government there works, and how 20% of the people have the money and 80% of the people don't. Just kind of staggering to me. It made me think about, the people, especially the people up on the mountain, and how remote that area is. Were they aware of anything better than that?
We have running water for one thing. They have to get it out of a little bowl that spring drips in, which wasn't the greatest, I guess. We had showers. They had to fill up buckets for us to bathe in if we wanted to. We had indoor plumbing. They didn't. So.
Yeah, we definitely made a connection with everybody, even though there was only 2 or 3 people on the trip that knew how to speak Spanish fluently. We definitely made a connection there through, body language, through playing baseball, through, just working with them hand in hand, showing them that we're there to help them and not just there for ourselves. So.
And it was a different experience this year than last year, because we did not live among the people when we were down last year. We were in the dorms, and we had running water. We had indoor plumbing, and even though there still was no air conditioning, but it's still a lot different living like they live. And getting the real true experience of that's what their life is like every day.
At the cross away with all death's sting, Lord, I want it all. Lord, I want it all.